Hello and welcome. I'm Giovanni Hall Art, and today we're drawing. Just gonna do a little bit of streaming, a little bit of drawing, practicing, doing some forms, getting back into the drawing spirit. It's been a while. Yeah, I want to stream more again. It's been a busy couple of weeks, but here we are. Just gonna have a chill session, going right into it. Listen to some YouTube as I'm working. So yeah, Giovanni Hall Art. I like to draw and play video games, and today we're drawing. You can follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon for more good stuff. I appreciate your support. Like and follow. More people get, more things we can do in the future. All right, let's go. This is a
Bada bing, bada boo.
this is a podcast from Rotten Mango. I'll be doing like some figure drawing, just drawing forms. All right.
There is nothing quite devastating like a high school love triangle. It is the synopsis of many a book talk books. Two people fighting over one love interest. It's probably what the quote, "All's fair in love and war," is inspired by.
Do some quick gesture
Especially when
drawings.
two people are fighting over the popular quarterback to the high school football team. There are trilogy-long sagas of real-life instances where people have confessed to the craziest high school love triangles years down the line. One netizen, OP, the original poster, she gets a call from her old high school crush. They're so much older now. In fact, this old high school crush is about to get married to his high school girlfriend, but he's calling her. And he's drunk. He's confessing his love to her instead. And he's saying things like, "I know you never want me because back in high school you rejected me." And this is all right before his wedding. But what's crazier is the original poster, OP, is like, "What are you talking about? I never rejected you in high school." Back in high school, when they were all friends, this guy had asked his now soon-to-be wife to tell the original poster, "Hey, I have a crush on her. Can you tell her and let her know?" And this girl, the soon-to-be wife, decides, "I'm actually not going to tell her that. And I'm just going to tell you that she rejected you, and I'm going to swoop in and start dating you instead." And now she is going to be the one walking down the aisle with him. Which, I mean, I don't know how someone would even feel if they find out the truth years down the line. I don't know if that changes him wanting to get married or not. Do you still get married all over this like high school love triangle? People do crazy stuff when their frontal lobe is not fully developed. And in high school, everything means something.
I'm just gonna pause there
Like,
for a
we sit next to her in
second.
the cafeteria.
I'm not saying what the girl did is right. It's definitely wrong. She shouldn't have done that. But that guy, he should have told that girl himself how she feel and not ask her. Then you'll get a true response. So that's kind of on him. I'm just saying. Maybe he's oblivious and didn't know that she liked him too, but in those situations, it's probably best to talk to the person directly and not have a messenger. Or not a messenger who probably has interest in you. So like maybe like a I don't know, mutual friend. But yeah, that's it.
Whose hoodie you're wearing, whose locker you're standing by between class. I hate high school. Dating becomes very territorial in high school. People decorate their crush's lockers. They'll wear the jersey numbers to the high school football games. They'll get the little candy canes delivered to them during Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But even if a high school relationship withstands all of this drama, it almost always ends up with everyone separating because of college, which is why letters like these are written to the quarterback of the high school football team. "I'm glad to have you as someone who I think will be in my life for a while." And this is a real note. This is very pertinent. Even if we don't talk all the time or even at all when you're in college, I feel like our little bond will always be there. So just hit me when you want to go get wasted at a bar together, and I'll send you my wedding invite one day. I know you're nostalgic AF, so I hope you look back at our time as a good one. And no, this isn't like me saying goodbye, but like I know things are gonna be different. Like, bro, you were the first person who got me to smoke weed. You're always gonna have that title, so we're locked in for real. And maybe one day we'll be able to go to the aquarium.
Wow.
I'm here whenever, even though you never say it back. I love you, and I wish you all the best. Always love, HB.
That's
This letter
definitely
never
a high
gets
school
delivered to the high school crush. Instead, it's
letter.
found crumpled up in a kitchen trash can during a search warrant for Haley Beck's apartment. Because this letter is not between two high school lovebirds who are in love and their students that are separating
That's
for college.
crazy.
This letter is written by a 27-year-old teacher at Centennial High School
That is
who is
crazy.
caught grooming her student.
That's just one post. We'll do another one. We're just getting some quick gesture Just do some quick gesture drawings to get loosened up and ready to draw poses. Yeah, they're gonna be quick and random and very loose. Yeah, you just gotta loosen up before you start drawing. Yeah, that's crazy though.
Mango to support the Joyful Heart Foundation, who are working to transform
Feel free to
society's
like and
response to
subscribe.
SADVCA and support
Next
survivors healing
pose.
with resources like
That was the
education,
first one,
advocacy,
kind of
and
like
policy
standing
change.
pose.
This
Next
episode's
one.
partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and would also like
I
to
want
thank
to do
you
more
guys for
life
your
drawing.
continued support. As
It's just
always,
hard
full
to
show
find
notes available at
classes
rottenmangopodcast.com.
left in my
Today's case
schedule.
involves mentions of grooming, predators in particular positions of power, harassment, CSA. Please take care while watching today's episode.
Oops.
Take a break. Put this on pause if you
Keep
need
these
to.
very
We will
rough
see you back in the next episode.
and
This episode
loose.
is also currently ongoing, and so any information will be up to the date of publishing. And because there's no verdicts as of now and not even charges, all
Ooh,
allegations are speculative, currently being investigated, and or only consist of publicly available information online. We did FOIA request this case, so we did receive like a 200-page police document. I will say, because there are no charges, there will be times where I'm quoting things from this police document, or I'm quoting other people talking about and referencing this police document. There's lots of labels of what this crime was. Some people are using the words like relationship and sex, but I just want to make it abundantly clear this is none of those things. In my opinion, I think this is just a sex crime. I don't think that this is sex or a relationship. I think this is grooming. I think this is predatory behavior, and I think it's a crime. I think it's sexual assault. But because there are lots of people who reference it like that, likely because the victim is a male student, it's not me advocating for that. I'm just saying. So, with that being said, let's get into it.
Rough,
Every high
sketchy.
school has some sort of open secret. Married teachers are having affairs with each other. One netizen writes,
I always
quote,
heard that.
two PE teachers, one male and one female.
It's
would
always the
vanish at the
PE
same time every day.
teachers.
She got pregnant.
It's always the PE teachers. Not saying that in my case they were cheating or anything, but I do remember a specific case where there was a PA teacher for the boy students and a PA teacher for the female students, you know, respectively, and they end up getting married. So I remember that. That was interesting. Not saying they were cheating or anything. It was interesting. But hey, that's how it happens, you know? I guess both in the similar field. Well, I guess that's not weird. That's normal. Yeah, these gestures are very rough, so don't mind them. We're just getting loose here. Alright, I'll keep playing that stuff. Let's go.
Her husband was also a teacher at our school, and like the whole building pretended we didn't know that that's not his baby.
Dang.
Which is a pretty common theme. Another netizen writes, two teachers had an affair, and the woman's husband came
surprised.
to the school during lunch and beat the shit out of the other teacher in the hallway.
Good.
The kids were filming it. But both teachers kept their jobs. And then it becomes one of those things that nobody really talks about openly anymore. Married parents of students are having affairs with other married parents, perhaps with a married teacher. One person stated that their high school had this weird open secret. The football coach was having a very public affair with one of the players' moms. She was
Crazy.
at every practice, every game, always in his office. His wife was also a teacher at the school, and like the whole town knew. Another student says, our principal was sleeping with at least two different students' moms. He would schedule parent conferences during school hours. Like his secretary knew, his whole office staff knew, everyone knew. He eventually got promoted to district administrator. Yeah. Open secret
That's
about
just
how seriously
proof-
everyone seems to take high school sports.
That's just proof that being a good person doesn't always reward you. Because some people do some terrible things and they still get promotions in advance. So I always find that interesting. You're like, oh, if I be a good person, you should be a good person. Don't change your nature to be a good person. But I'm just saying, it's funny that you can play by all the rules, and people who don't play by none of the rules are seeing the ones that get all the promotion and stuff. Life is not fair. It's just interesting. Anyways, continue.
Sports is a huge thing. Like one principal who would change her own son's grades so that he could play football. This is a common thing. One faculty
That's not
member
too
writes,
crazy.
the star quarterback had
You're
a
just doing
GPA
your
of 0.8.
Changing, let's say you're teaching, changing the grades so your star student or your kid can play. It's nothing too crazy. If you're just making it so they can pass, but you're doing that student a disservice. Uh,
0.8, literally failing every class. But every quarter, his grades would magically adjust just enough so that he could play football.
yeah,
Every teacher knew it. Nobody was allowed to talk about it. Or another, best player in our school basketball team got caught breaking into cars and robbing them, was kicked off the basketball team after they found his car full of all the valuables that were stolen. Half into
that's
the season,
crazy.
we're at the bottom. So the coach and the principal work out a deal and they get him back in. He ends up playing. We still
That's
lost though.
crazy.
But Centennial High School in Arizona, their open secret would start making national news.
Uh oh.
Centennial High School, Centennial High School, Centennial High School in
I'm really
Peoria.
rough today.
Centennial High School is one of the entire state's premier athletic schools, particularly in football. So their team has won at least 8 state championships.
The Centennial Coyotes are the 5A state
Hey, listen,
It's a heavy football
principal
school,
and
meaning
the
Friday
coaches
nights,
are
you
not
drive
going to
by
lose that game
Centennial High School, it's going to be packed.
because of grades
Everybody's
or
talking about what they're wearing to
misdemeanor
the game,
charges.
who's playing, who's that. Everyone knows all
Like
the
they're-
players, their numbers, all the players and their parents.
They want to
And the
win
rest of
that
the
state
weekend, if you
championship
go
or
to
whatever.
the best spots in town, like if you go Saturday brunch, you're going to run into people rehashing Friday
crazy.
night's game while eating brunch, and it's just high school football. Like, it's that serious.
It's
And I grew
not
up in the
just.
South, so
I know I'm interrupting a lot, but you have to. You can't just like play people's YouTube videos. But from my understanding, people say, "Oh, it's just high school football or whatever." From my understanding, from watching documentaries, in some smaller towns, there's nothing much really going on, and what they look forward to is local college games and football games, even high school ones. So for them, it's a big deal. That's like where they hang out and gather. So it's not just high school football. It's like that's where the town has their their events and stuff. So that's why it's very big. That's like general like call, especially like high school sports, but college sports are very big in smaller towns because that's like their entertainment. But anyways, I digress. Let's keep going.
like I get high school football, and there is something
Okay, she at least
much
knows
darker
that.
going on in Centennial High School than just football. It starts off more like an open secret. It's like a rumor. Nobody has proof, but it just feels weird. One student says, there were just things about the school that just kept getting swept under the rug.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know the specifics, but everyone's heard the rumors.
Oops.
Like there was this male Spanish teacher that was very friendly and flirty with the girl students last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
I'm
if
so
anything
I'm sorry for
happened, but he was
interrupting.
fired before anything came up.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but yeah, it's always a red flag. Not a red flag, but you can tell the teachers that are very friendly to, example, the opposite sex, and they give more benefit of doubt and more favors to that. To me, that was always weird. Like we had teachers like that, where they'll be so friendly with the girls, but be so harsh on the boys. It's like, come on, man, what are you doing? I guess it's the one favor with the female students, but it's like it's weird. Like, oh, he's only let you do that because you're a girl. That does happen. And I'm pretty sure it happens other way around too, where there's female teachers that are very mean to female students, but really nice to the female boys. It happens.
And this is a real witness, a real student saying this to the police. Then there's the girls' soccer coach and psychology teacher. She's just kind of weird with her students, specifically her male students.
Yep.
She seems like one of those teachers that hates her female students but loves her male students,
Exactly.
which is concerning, right? But she would just
My theory, I know I'm interrupting again. My theory is with teachers like this, is they're stuck. It's not excusable or nothing. It's not an excuse. But I think a lot of them are reliving their high school days through these high school students, and they get caught up in that, thinking that they're one of the students, and because now they're the cool ones, they're the the perceived mature hot teacher or whatever. So no, they're getting the attention, whatever. I think a lot of them are living their high school days through these students, and they end up thinking they're one of the students, which they're not. It's illegal.
do this thing where she would constantly call out members of the football team. kids, students, out of their classes and then bring them to her classroom and like just hang out with them. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, that's
Or
weird.
she's constantly doing favors for them. She would let them leave the school campus to get food, which is generally not allowed. At some point, the other students and even some of their
Her
older,
favorite team.
already graduated siblings are confused. Their parents are getting word of this. After hearing all of these rumors, one of the students decides
Favoritism.
to just ask one of the football players, like, you're always around the psychology teacher. Like, is that teacher being weird with you? Is something weird? Because I heard something weird's going on. He responds really cryptically. You'd have to ask the teacher that. Like, I'm not saying anything. What does that mean? Like, as in there's something to say, but you don't want to say it? But there is one student whose name keeps getting brought up in all of this with rumors about the psychology teacher. He's a football player, and we're going to be referring to him as Alex for the rest of the episode.
She's
That is how
reliving
it's
her
going.
high
And
school
anyone who
days
is under
with the
18 or even 18 but is
teenager
a student, I'm not using
football
any of their real
jock.
names. Alex, just a fake name, like I said, but yeah, there's just like a rumor between Alex, like he's always around the psychology teacher. If you see her in the hallway, she always wants to be near him.
Not a good look.
I don't know. It's just sometimes he'll be in her classroom when it's not even his class.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
And that's not to say that Alex is strange. The teacher is
If
the only
she-
strange one here in this scenario, but it's odd to the point that people called her out on it. And she states that the only reason her and Alex are so close is because they're like siblings. He's like her brother, which I feel like when you hear people calling someone, oh, that's like my brother, there's only 3 ways this goes, okay? A, they are literally siblings or cousins or related by DNA in some way, shape, or form, which does not apply to this teacher and student. B, they grew up together and experienced a lot of hardship or something that they can relate to, which again doesn't apply to this teacher and student dynamic. And C, when someone is trying to deflect and distract from the fact that they definitely do not see this individual as their brother. That's it. I feel like those are the only 3 ways it goes. That's it. But not only that, they would bicker like siblings. And on top of that, the teacher would just bring this male student up in every single conversation. Even if it's not about him,
weird.
has nothing to do with him, she would somehow manage a way to weasel his name into this conversation with other students. It's just weird. Like,
I'm
are you
gonna
obsessed with
do-
Alex or something?
I'm gonna look up YouTube videos of life drawing poses, so we're loosening up. We're just getting loose here with drawing as I'm watching YouTube. There has to be YouTube channels like that where they just show a bunch of poses and just sketch it up real quick.
But the teacher is on like the younger side of the other teacher. She's 27. And so while it's highly inappropriate, unprofessional, and should stop,
Very.
maybe there's nothing more to it. Like maybe that's why nobody reported it. But another recent graduate of Centennial says, I don't know. I overheard something really, really strange. Very strange conversation.
Okay, I found the
Psychology
video.
teacher and the football student.
Just draw these
they're
poses up
in
real
the hallway,
quick.
kind of hush hush whispering, arguing. And as the former student is walking back, they heard the student say something to
That
the
is
teacher
crazy.
along the effect of, I have a girlfriend. Why are you so worried about what I do? Which is just weird. Why would a teacher be so concerned
Yeah,
about that?
that is weird.
Then there's the video rumor. A couple of students started telling their friends who told their friends who told their friends who told their friends, and like maybe some of them told their parents. But the rumor is there's a video of one of the teachers giving a student oral in her
What?
classroom. Jess is a woman on a mission. This is, I mean,
That
it's not
is
an open secret if
crazy.
it's a little crime. Jess goes straight onto the website submissions page and she starts typing up her tip. She enters
Who's
her
Jess?
name.
A student?
Jess is the mother of a student.
Oh.
Former student, graduated student. She starts
That's
typing up her name,
crazy.
address, phone number, email in the tip submissions part. And Jess writes that her daughter used to attend the school and was on the soccer team. And her soccer coach,
I'm sorry, tip to what website?
Oh, the police website.
Oh, okay.
And the daughter's soccer coach, who also happens to be the psychology teacher, has just always had this unprofessional air to her. The way she handles herself around the students, it just never felt right with Jess. She remembers distinctly how she spoke with the soccer coach, at least on one occasion, about, quote, how I felt like her relationship was inappropriate with all the kids. However, I know that last year's team has a lot of info about a boy that she had apparently an inappropriate student-teacher relationship with. He would meet her during non-school hours, and they were definitely Snapchatting. In the portion that reads suspect name, she types in Haley Beck and sends it to the Peoria Police Department, where Detective Kraber, a detective in the Heat Division, so this is Human Exploitation and Trafficking Unit, picks up the tip. He immediately calls Jess back for more information. And she tells the detective, look, she's never been appropriate with her kids. She's never acted like some sort of authority figure, and she cares more about being a peer to the students than anything. She gossips with the students, and she worries about what they think about her. And it's just like, she wants to be
She's
our
living
kids'
high school
friends.
days. Yeah.
Apparently, Haley even texted Jess's daughter that Jess's daughter is being bratty. Like, you're being bratty. A teacher texting a student that the student is being bratty, which is weirdly unprofessional, and Jess describes it as being manipulative. But the reason for the tip is not because Haley Beck is one of those odd teachers that needs to get a grip to life and come to terms with the fact that these high school students don't see you as cool or their friend, all disrespect intended. Jess would not have filed a tip for that. It's because of Alex, okay? She's saying there's this kid, this football player named Alex, and he just comes to all the girls' soccer practices, even when he has no reason to be on campus. And it doesn't seem like he's doing it to be around the girls of the soccer team. He would attend all of these lock-ins, and students have started noticing that sometimes Haley and Alex would bicker, and some of the students were saying, oh, it's because they're like siblings. That's what Miss Beck said, right? But it feels like they're arguing like they're in some sort of relationship.
So she's submitting because she's worried about Alex, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then she says, but my daughter specifically heard something when they were arguing. And it's different from what the other student overheard because lots of tips are coming in simultaneously. And Jess says, you know, my daughter was walking by when they were arguing in the hallway, and she overheard Miss Beck, the teacher, say something along the lines of, this would wreck my career, not yours. And then there's just all the small, very alarming things. Sometimes Alex wouldn't be in class, but Haley would never mark him absent. Miss Beck would invite Alex and the entire football team to come swimming at her apartment swimming pool.
Yeah.
And the other night, there was this whole conversation amongst the students
that's too much.
Haley had.
There's no reason
Miss
for a
Beck
teacher
had
to be
given Alex
contacting or
head.
be in contact with a student
That's the phrasing.
outside of school hours.
Like, that's not me saying it because I think
Especially
that would
direct
be a crime,
contact.
but you get what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
Jess states at the end of this call she feels really guilty because she doesn't have the proof of any sort of video or anything, but like these are the things that
Again,
she's
we're
heard,
doing
and
quick poses.
she feels conflicted about making this tip because if she hadn't called, then nobody else is going to get dragged into it. And now the police want to talk to her daughter. The police want to talk to these other high school kids, but they really, really need to look into 27-year-old Haley Beck. It was pretty easy to Google for the officers, by the way. She's not just a psychology teacher at the local high school. She's also the well-known older sister of a pretty well-known influencer by the name of Noah Beck. If you are one of the lucky people that did not download TikTok during the pandemic and continue down the easy pipeline of brain rotting like myself, you may have no clue who Noah Beck is.
No idea who that is.
Which is neither here nor there.
I do have TikTok.
He's a big influencer with over 30 million followers on TikTok, and he makes a lot of money, and I don't want to say definitively, but it seems like he has not been in any career-ending controversies. He seems unproblematic compared to some of the other TikTokers during that time period. He mainly does a lot of big brand trips now. I think he's getting into acting. I think he has a few shows on Netflix that he's working on. So, yeah, I think he's mainly trying to be an actor.
Good for him.
Dating,
he did date Dixie D'Amelio.
Who's that?
I think they were broken up a long time ago.
Oh, no, that even
yeah, but
is.
he's like from that era, right? But he makes a lot of money, which may or may not be the only tiny detail that will hold relevance to this later. But he also did some family vlogs that feature two of his sisters. So you've got Haley Beck, the oldest Beck child, and it appears that she's always had the going down the right path type of childhood, while her younger siblings, Tatum Beck, her younger sister, her younger brother, Noah Beck, were the troublemakers. That's how they talk about their relationships.
Haley Beck, everyone. This is the oldest of the Beck children. She's the middle. I'm the baby.
They're like, Haley Beck is like the golden kid, the perfect child or whatever.
Who's most likely to go to jail?
Oh, shoot.
Who has more common sense?
Probably not her. That's around little kids.
And then Tatum Beck is like the troublemaker. She likes to throw pizzas at Haley Beck.
She threw pizza at me.
Oh my
Why'd she
god.
do that?
Okay.
That's crazy.
On my hair.
But is Haley Beck also a like influencer or not at all? Or she's just only as a sister?
Only as a sister.
So she doesn't have her own TikTok and all of
She
that.
does, but now not anymore. It's pretty much gone. But she was never famous for her TikTok. She was really only famous for being Noah Beck's sister.
And I'm assuming everybody in school knows that too, right? That's Noah Beck's sister.
Yeah, and apparently, oh my god, there's like this rumor. I couldn't confirm, but there were some anonymous students that were formerly in her class that said that because she's a psychology teacher, she would use Noah Beck and Dixie D'Amelio as personality references which was just weird, very bizarre, very parasocial.
That's very interesting because you were saying she wants to be a friend,
Yeah.
and her brother is basically the biggest star for high school kids.
Yeah.
Must play a lot of roles in her brain and her interaction with the kids, right?
Yeah. Which makes it, I think, more sick.
Yeah.
Not that Noah Beck did anything wrong.
Yeah.
He doesn't even live in Arizona anymore. So just pointing that out. But more on that later because there is a part about Noah Beck in the police report that is unverified, but we'll get there. Haley goes on to become a high school psychology teacher, and she says in an interview,
teachers can have connections with kids, and I feel like that's one of the most important parts of teaching.
Yeah, she's
because at the end
definitely
of the
living her
day,
high
you never
school
know,
days.
like, I might be the only person in someone's life that does care, and so I try really hard to make that known in my teaching and in my interactions with students.
and then there's really not much else about her until recently, where every single TikTok of Haley Beck in her classroom teaching has seemingly gone viral because there's a rumor that Haley Beck is the teacher in the video, where I would consider it essay, but oral is committed against a student. Do you remember the TikTok trend where two people would be running, filming each other? They take turns. So one person pretends to be the suspect, the other pretends to be the cop chasing the suspect. And as they're running, the cop, the one that's filming, will say something like, suspect is a 25-year-old and still takes a bubble bath every single day. Suspect can't grow a beard.
Suspect can't grow a beard.
That's crazy.
You know, they're supposed to be oddly specific. You get it. You've seen it. Noah Beck has done one with his siblings a while back, and Haley Beck is running, and Noah Beck says suspect's best friends are her students. And Haley stops running to say, they're nice to me.
Suspect's best friends are students.
They're nice to me.
Then another TikTok is dug up. Same trend, but this time it looks like it's Haley and another, maybe a teacher or a student in a cafeteria. And Haley is running through this empty cafeteria, and a girl's voice on the other end says, suspect has a cult following of high school boys.
Suspect has a cult following of high school boys.
Ooh, that's
And
not a
there
good look.
is a TikTok that has since started going viral, which is a picture of Haley Beck in her class. And on the whiteboard behind her, it's written Mommy Beck. Whether she wrote that and told the students to call her Mommy Beck, whether one of the students wrote
That's
it
a
and she
Mommy
just didn't
Beck.
erase it immediately, it's unclear. There's nothing inherently illegal or fireable in the videos of her in the classroom, at least the ones circulating online. Although I do think that she did break some school rules.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you're allowed to have students' voices or their faces in any TikToks without the parents' consent.
Oh, so she films TikToks.
She also would like film TikToks in her classroom, and they were just so cringe. They've all been wiped from the internet, but you can see some reposts on TikTok where she just behaves in a way that
She's trying to be young
I would
again.
never want my child anywhere near her, and I don't even have children.
Like, what does that mean?
She's the epitome of a teacher that I think is not all there in the head. She likes to sing at her desk while the students are trying to focus, and it's very like, oh, pay attention to me.
Exactly.
And then she'll be like, oops, sorry, I don't even know why I'm seeing that. And then there's another part, like this one really just grinds my gears. And I do think that I have at times a very uncomfortable cadence and tone of voice, and maybe there is some vocal fry in my throat. But with Haley Beck, this is a student. This is a professional setting. And she's talking to a student and she's like, Austin, stop. And I'm like, what is fucking happening?
Yeah.
Is there like a trend that she's doing, or just like clips of her life?
These are clips of her life, and this is like at the time when a lot of teachers were filming themselves in classrooms. And then there was like a wave, a wave of teachers filming themselves. And then a lot of schools got mad. A lot of kids got mad. A lot of the internet got mad because they were like, you are like a toxic teacher. You're a weird teacher. So she has some of these, but I mean, maybe they're fireable offenses, but nothing inherently illegal in what has come up on TikTok. It's just a combination of all the things that she does. She
That's
has a
interesting.
tendency to consistently try.
Yeah, I remember that. There was a time where a lot of teachers, not just teachers, people in professional industries were filming like their day-to-day lives. And then people were like, wait, should you guys be doing that? Like, if you're a certain profession, like if you're a nurse or something, or you work for a certain company where your reputation is very important. Like, there's certain things you just shouldn't be filming or doing, especially at the company or wearing the company clothing. I think there was a one lady that got fired from an airline because the videos are not that wild, was just it wasn't a good look for the company. I think she was doing some kind of provocative dancing, maybe twerking or something, but she was wearing the airline uniform, and she got fired for that. And the whole discussion was, what you do outside of work, should that have an impact on your job? I think I'm 50-50 with it. I think it depends on the job. If you have a job where you're regarded to a certain standard or it's a certain, I guess, behavior or behavior you're supposed to, or a certain way you're supposed to act, you can't do every and anything. It all depends. Like jobs where it's based on reputation, on your reputation, kind of have less leeway. Jobs where it doesn't really matter, I think they should have no say what you do outside person, like as long as it's nothing like crazy or you know racist or some crazy stuff or threatening to hurt nobody. It shouldn't matter. But certain jobs kind of have to follow a certain code and act that manner in that way outside of work. Kind of sucks, but that's just life. That's life. Anyways, we'll continue.
To fit in with the kids and make the class about herself. There's another TikTok where she's up on the table while the kids are exiting the classroom, and it just seems like she's doing it to be cool.
What do you mean up on the table? Standing on?
Yeah, and
desks?
she's like watching them all leave. I don't know. Like, I just never had teachers really behave like that. It just makes you uncomfortable. She's bickering with students. Later, another student would say that the football boys and Haley Beck would constantly be making TikToks in her classroom. So I guess like the football boys would post their own TikToks, and that Haley Beck started acting more like a friend rather than a coach or a teacher. The football guys would always be behind her desk joking around with her. There is this one picture that one of the football guys took. Boys, children, students, okay, just emphasis. He's sitting at her, what it seems to be her chair, and she's leaned over her desk, and it's just like the most weird body
Yeah.
language, highly uncomfortable. One student says Miss Beck would be teaching her class, and suddenly, when the football players came in, she would stop teaching and just talk to them. And the way that they talked would be like that middle school teasing, flirting type of dynamic. There's also this newly circulating TikTok
I
of
know
a male
exactly
student
what that
filming
is.
himself. I'm not gonna
I
post
see my
it,
own
but it has
eyes.
gone viral. He's likely under.
With the basketball team. But then I see it on both ends with male teachers. They're like the coach or something of a team. Because sometimes they have like different teachers. Like for example, we had a teacher who would teach the soccer team. And it was all boys students. Anytime like any of the soccer students came by, he like stopped the conversation, just focused on them. You shouldn't do it, but it's nothing really egregious or offensive. But you just know. It's like, okay, he teaches that team, so when he sees one of his players, he kind of gets distracted. I would say that's a fireable offense, but I know what she's saying. It's like, oh, these students don't matter more because my star player is here. Or the soccer teams or the hockey team guys are here. I seen that with both male teachers and female teachers. Nothing weird's going on. It's just like, oh, you guys are not important. I gotta talk to these guys here. You guys ready for the next game? It's whatever.
Under the influence given the caption, but he's stating that he invited Haley Beck to pull up to his grad party, and she did. And now she's another student's partner in pong. I'm assuming beer pong. I don't know if there's beer in there.
That's
or if it's
crazy.
Gatorade, probably not Gatorade, it's probably beer. But he flips the camera, and sure enough, there's Haley Beck at a house party.
Oh no, no,
Other
no,
students
no,
have come out to say
no.
that
I'm sorry to interrupt. You cannot be showing up at a high school party. No, that's too much. You're doing too much, woman. You can't be doing that. I'm sorry.
in Haley Beck's class was just weird. She would openly
You
talk about her
can't
dating
you
life,
can't do
which is
that.
not normal classroom behavior. And so with all of this and the tip from one of the parents to the police department,
Not
the police
appropriate.
decide that they're going to start a full-blown investigation. In fact, they have tips about other things going on in Centennial High School, so they're just going to upend and do a full overhaul and look into everything. And they start pulling up other names that they think are going to be good witnesses. They're calling their parents because most of them are underage, asking if they can come in for an interview, and all of them are led into the soft room. The soft interview room in big police departments is specifically designed to create a comfortable, calm environment. It's usually reserved for victims, witnesses, and for this situation, children, not the perpetrators. Multiple
there-
students
there
are
are
brought in
children.
from Centennial High School into the soft room where they're asked, "Can you tell us what you know about the ongoing investigation?" One of the students responds, "Which one?" The police don't start investigating Centennial High School because of a tip on Haley Beck. There is already an investigation underway on a separate teacher, 47-year-old Angela Berlacca.
Damn.
Two teachers at Centennial High in
What's with
Peoria
these
were accused
teachers?
of sexually abusing a student.
In my 30 years of two females perpetrating against the same.
You know what?
What's going on in this school?
I gotta
Well,
interrupt
please-
again. I'm so sorry. We have to. I'm gonna say this. There's always been a spotlight on male teachers, but I'm telling you right now, this has been going on for years with female teachers, but no one pays attention or takes it seriously. But I think now with the digital trails and paper trails, we see more of it being exposed. But this has been going on for years. Like back then, you know, the female teachers, people wouldn't pay attention, but you knew stuff was going on. Like, for example, there'd be guys on the basketball team, there'd be that one female teacher just hanging around. She doesn't even coach the team or nothing. She's just hanging around, or the kids will come in the classroom. Like, it's kind of odd. But, you know, when you're young, you're not really thinking that crazy. You're just like, oh, okay. She really likes those guys, and I guess those are her favorite people. But then when you look at it now in a different lens, as you're older, like, okay, she's definitely like the attention. I'm not saying that's happened at my school. I'm just saying. Now when you're older, you look at it, it's like, okay, maybe there's something else going on. Not always the case, but it's happening a lot. Or it's being exposed a lot more now.
Investigating Angela Berlacca, tips are coming in about 27-year-old Haley Beck. So now they're like, okay, well, let's investigate both of them. And this is how both teachers are getting investigated for grooming their students. And random parents from Centennial High School end up opening their front doors, seeing a business card taped on the front for a detective. One of the mother calls the detective and says, I don't know what this is all about. Well, kind of. She says she figured out, you know, given all the recent events, she had heard rumors milling about concerning some teachers at the school, but she doesn't know all the details, but she heard that her child might know more. She and her daughter, who we will randomly call Taylor. Taylor is 17.
Oh, yeah.
Get called into the soft room. Okay, so the police, they don't do like an audio transcription. So there's an audio and video file that we were not able to FOIA, which is understandable. This is still an open investigation after all as well. But they don't have a transcript for the audio. So this is the police officer paraphrasing their entire conversation based off the interview. So these are, I don't want to say they're direct quotes, but they're as direct as it gets. Like these are all the statements the police reiterated in the police report. So Taylor tells the detectives, I heard some rumors about Miss Berlacca. What kind of rumors? That 47-year-old Angela Berlacca, a teacher at the high school, would send nudes to football players.
That's
And that she would add a
crazy.
bunch of the boys on Snapchat. But a lot of the students like Miss Berlacca and felt that she was never odd in class. Like Taylor is like, oh, no, Miss Berlacca is not like Haley Beck, where she's obsessed with the boy students. She's actually pretty nice to me, but I don't know. This is the rumor that I heard, so maybe the rumor is just a rumor. Taylor reports to the detective that she personally noticed that Angela Berlacca started getting weird to her when she started dating another student. Redacted.
Really?
So we're
Getting
gonna
jealous
call
of a
him Redacted.
female
Wait,
student?
Taylor,
That's
the 47-year-old teacher
crazy.
getting weird to Taylor?
Yeah, so 47-year-old
Jealous of a
Angela
high
Berlacca starts
schooler?
acting weird
Is
around
dating her
17-year-old
peers, her own
Taylor.
age?
And Taylor is
That's
like,
crazy.
all I know is it started when I started dating my boyfriend, another 17-year-old at the school.
Is
They're
she a
really
football
trying to relive
player?
their high school years.
So Taylor starts dating Redacted, male student in the school, and that's when Angela Berlacca, the teacher, starts acting very strange, as per the report. When Taylor would go to the bathroom, Angela would ask her if she's going to go hang out with her boyfriend. She would ask Taylor about her boyfriend all the time, and like Taylor thinks it's weird. Also,
Yeah, that
Miss
is
Berlacca
weird.
was one of the first people that found out that Taylor and her boyfriend were even dating. Like, how did she even find out so quickly? And then Taylor finds out through mutual friends of her and her new boyfriend that Angela had actually added her boyfriend on Snapchat when he was a freshman or sophomore. So this was like a while back. And she was always sending him weird stuff, like messages, allegedly like, my husband doesn't satisfy me enough.
What?
This is a 47-year-old teacher sending this to a freshman or sophomore in high school.
That's crazy.
Miss Berlacca
Are
would
teachers supposed to have a Snapchat with
No.
their students?
No.
No, definitely
Is that
not.
even allowed? That's crazy.
So teachers actually have email portals, or sometimes they have these each school is different. So some schools have software where you can like message teachers, but it's like a school software and it's all monitored.
Yeah.
But no, teachers are not supposed to have any sort of personal contact with students outside of class. And usually teachers, the last thing they want is to fucking see a student outside of class or talk to them. So this is really weird.
Wow, crazy.
She would invite him to the classroom early before the rest of the students would get there, and she would tell him not to tell anyone about what she's saying. But Taylor's boyfriend never told Taylor any of this himself. So this is all she's hearing through mutual friends. She never saw these messages on his phone. So she's like, I don't know if it's true. It's just what I've heard. But there are more rumors about Miss Berlacca, that multiple male students, children, received similar messages. And Taylor says, quote, I just knew the whole football team is bonded over how weird the teachers are and that they've seen the same pictures of Miss Berlacca. Same pictures.
Many pictures.
Wow, so she's mass sending her nude to the whole team?
That's
be.
crazy.
The police bring in Angela Berlacca, and she tells the officers that she has been working as a teacher for the past 26 years. She's been employed as a teacher way longer than any of these children have been on the face of this planet. She also teaches at this redacted, it sounds like a daycare, and she teaches early child development and is in charge of the preschool. So initially in the interview, even though Angela knows what's going on, she just tells the police that she really only has interactions with students via email and she only communicates with students for school-related purposes. The police report reads, I then asked her if she communicates with students outside of school purposes. I'm not going to answer that question. Would there be any reason why a student would have your personal phone number? No reason for that. I'm just going to say this, but I feel like anything I say is going to be viewed as wrong. She goes on to say that in the event of going on a field trip or something, Angela has given out her phone number before to some students, some teachers, some other parents, but other than that, no reason. That makes sense, right? Would there be any reason a student would have any images or videos of you in a state of nudity? Angela immediately states that she's not going to answer the question and requests an attorney, thus ending the interview. And she knows why, because the second that the police get a warrant for her phone records and start going through it, they're going to see that she is indeed on Snapchat talking to students. Taylor's boyfriend, to be exact. On Snapchat, she messages Taylor's boyfriend, her student, first. Who's your tattoo artist?
Wow. Wait, but are these still recorded on Snapchat or they're gone?
They're gone, but the police are able to subpoena Snapchat. So the police are out here subpoenaing Snapchat.
Wait, so Snapchat also has a whole record of everything?
Oh, yeah. Snapchat
She's
actually
done.
has a back-end portal for law enforcement where they can go in and ask for search warrants. And I think...
Interesting.
Yeah, they have like all the big tech companies. And I'm saying this because I don't know why people are so dumb in this day and age. If you're committing a crime, all the big tech companies, they have preservation requests that law enforcement fill out, and they preserve all the metadata.
Yeah.
They're legally required to. And
That's
I'm not
crazy.
saying that so you can get away with the crime. I'm saying that because it's so mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I would say that this is more so if you're not committing a crime and maybe you have other sensitive information that you wouldn't want certain government agencies to know, just know that, right? But...
Wow.
Yeah.
So she's like, who's your tattoo artist? This guy named Creep on 43rd Avenue in Grand. And
That's
then
crazy.
he responds, shaking my head, why'd you unadd me? So she added him, unadded him, and then Angela Berlacca responds, just trying to stay out of trouble. If you say so. You got any free time coming up, B? So they all call her Miss B.
That's
I'm
crazy.
leaving town this weekend. Where to? Colorado for a week, last vacay before school starts. Summer goes fast. It really does. No response. So Angela Berlacca messages again in the morning, good morning. Now he responds, good morning. Curious if your offers are still on the table.
What offers? What?
The student is asking if your offers are still on the table. We don't know the offers based off this conversation, but Angela Berlacca responds, yes, but not right now. The student responds, catch me in December. I'm curious if you teach some things or not. Are you graduating early? Yeah, I am. I'll be done in December, so catch me over break when you got free time. I need to see if you got any special tricks. And I'll be 19. Nice, and I'd be happy to. We'll see what you got up your sleeve. And I guess he copied her message on Snapchat or something, but she's like, anything you want, what's with you copying my message though? Should I be worried?
Who is the student
Angela Berlocca is like, you copied my message. Should I be worried? Yeah.
Screenshotting and
Screenshot.
stuff.
And he's like, not about me. Good to know.
So she's 47.
Yeah.
The student was like 17.
He is
17,
now
18.
18.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
turning
right.
19.
So she's 30 years older.
Yeah.
Does she have any children? Do you know?
She's married and has children. It
Imagine
is
being the
atrocious,
husband.
but the deep dark abyss of hell can always get darker. Once investigators start digging, they
Alright, we're gonna keep
interview
doing some
Taylor's
more
boyfriend's grandmother,
quick sketches.
and she states that her grandson confided in her that his teacher was being inappropriate with him. She also reached out to the police on a separate tip, stating that a teacher has been sending her grandson, Taylor's boyfriend, inappropriate messages
That's
and videos.
crazy. Alright, let's do
One
another
video is
pose.
described in the police report as, quote, a video where the teacher was nude and masturbating with a
toy?
Yeah, a cucumber-shaped device. In addition to
That's
this,
crazy.
the female teacher was saying Redacted's name in the video, as well as stating
Whoa.
that she wants to S him dry. The video footage shows the teacher's face as well as identifying tattoos, as well as another video of Angela Berlocca. In addition to
Like I told you,
Redacted,
they're trying to
there
live high
are
school
3
days.
other students involved.
What do you mean three student involved?
Whether they received similar messages or similar offers, but there are other students that are semi-involved.
I guess they're trying to catch them
being
young.
groomed.
It's crazy though.
This video was sent to
Straight
the
to jail.
student when he was 16 years old.
That's crazy.
Not when he was 18. There's another video that the police find, which includes an adult female, likely Angela Berlocca, in the shower unclothed. Her face is not in it, but it appears to be her. It matches with her shower. It matches with the containers in her shower and some of the identifying tattoos. The video is 2 entire minutes long, and she's just pointing the camera downwards and like soaping up her body. And Angela Berlocca is very clearly, in my opinion, a predator. Neither of them have been charged yet, but can the same be said about Haley Beck, at least as far as this investigation right now, at this point? It's like the police opened up a can of worms with Angela Berlocca's case, and that leads them to open up another can of worms or a can of eels with Haley Beck. So they're like, okay, we've got Angela Berlocca, we've got these videos, and now everybody's talking about another teacher named Haley Beck. Like, what's happening? Another student is brought in, and she tells officers that she's heard a rumor that Haley Beck and Alex have been together since Alex, that student, was 16 years old. And that wouldn't surprise her.
What?
They're like, what do you mean by that? Miss Beck acts like she's still in high school and she's obsessed with the football
Exactly,
team.
that's what it is.
She would mention how when she was in high school, she dated a football player. Not only that, another student states, one time I was in yearbook class, I stopped by Miss Beck's classroom. When I got there was like at least 30 football players inside. They're having a pizza party. And the student walks in and Miss Beck looks at her and goes, well, this
That's
looks
crazy.
weird. And she didn't think it looked weird, but now that Miss Beck said
Hello,
that it was weird,
welcome.
that made it weird.
Thank you so
And
much.
she never allows female students to hang out in her.
Feel free. Sorry, I'm just gonna interrupt the video. Feel free to check out my my Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, Twitch, and all that stuff. Right now, I'm just doing like figure drawings and warm up sketches, just like quick doodles, just warming up again, practicing the posing. But yeah, thank you, appreciate that.
Classroom after class, but she allows all the male students. Another
That
student
is
who graduated
crazy.
states she hated being in Miss Beck's classroom. Why?
Why?
She just has a weird focus on guys. Her classroom
I can see
environment
that.
was annoying. She would prioritize the male students' attention over teaching.
Oh
There's
man,
also rumors that she gave a male
as
student
a
Christmas
former
present
student
that
of high school, I know exactly what that female student is saying. So I was in a class where we had a male teacher, and he prioritized. Well, he paid more attention to the female students than the male students. Basically, if you're a male student, you're on your own. Alright. Unfortunately, I have
She
to
filmed a
go
TikTok.
and head out. But yeah, if you like what you see, feel free to follow me. We're gonna continue this on. We're doing some more quick figure drawing and poses, and we're continuing from there. So yeah, we'll just go over what I did so far for for poses, quick ones. So our next stream we'll do a full one. Alright, I'll catch you guys on the next stream. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon for more exclusive stuff. Alright, see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.